Welcome to Tech News, where we talk about all the latest news, leaks, rumors, or products that have come out recently. Today we're going to be talking about all the new tech-related things that have come out either since September or October. There have been so many things it's hard to keep track, but let's start at the beginning. First, there were the new Xboxes, which have had their specs, prices, and releases revealed. The Xbox Series X is going to be $500 and will have over twice the amount of teraflops than the previous king, the Xbox One X. It will support 4K at up to 120 frames per second, but if we're being reasonable, it's more going to be like 60. Next, they also unveiled the Xbox Series S, which is their new budget console of the generation. It's going to come out at $300, and it's going to be on par with the One X, but it's just going to have no disk drive and only 500 gigabytes of storage. In my opinion, the Series S simply is not worth it, as you can pretty easily get a refurbished Xbox One X, which is equally as powerful, but it has more storage and a disk drive for only about $50 more. But in general, I would recommend getting a Series X just for future proofing, because the next Xbox won't release for another 5 to 10 years, so you may as well get the most powerful one now. Next, we have the PS5. They revealed the price of both versions. The one with the disc drive is going to be $500, while the one without it is a little bit less than $500, at $400. It has also been revealed that liquid metal is used in the PlayStation 5 for cooling in a teardown released by Sony themselves. I'll link that video down in the description. There isn't much else to say other than that the pre-orders have started for the masses and have already started shipping. If you want more info on what console to buy, I'll link a video in the description for that. Speaking of pre-orders, one really bad thing happened with them. A bunch of scalpers and bots ruined the launch of Nvidia's 3000 series and the consoles. A lot of bots and scalpers pre-ordered the consoles minutes after they were put on sale, and they were sold out. They're now being sold at over $1,000, but Microsoft, Sony, and Nvidia promised to get more in stock and try to prevent people from ordering more than one or two of their new products. Now we shift our attention from consoles to PC, as we're going to be talking about AMD. AMD released so many amazing things over these 2 months, it's absurd. They first released their new Zen 3 5000 series CPU chipset, which are absolutely crazy. They outperform Intel's 10th gen CPUs by a wide margin for the exact same price, if not less, but they have also released even more powerful CPUs for a little bit of a higher price. It's a great time to be a PC gamer. Next, we move on to Apple, who has now released their new iPhone 12s, with the pretty controversial decision of not including a charger in the box. The iPhones themselves are pretty good, with their new MagSafe cases and wireless chargers, and their new design has a more industrial look, but they don't have a power brick. I would have been fine with this, but the part that bugs me the most about the new charger is that it's Type-C to Lightning, so most people don't really have a Type-C to wall adapter, except for the people who already own iPhone 11s. And plus, a new power brick costs an extra $40, and the reasoning for this is even dumber, with Apple saying that it's eco-friendly. This would likely do the opposite because most people will have to get a new charging brick, which means more packaging and less eco-friendly. I honestly think that they're just doing this to help prepare people for their next iPhone, which will most likely be portless. Now we have Google also releasing their phones with their Pixel 5 and 4a 5G. The 4a 5G is basically the exact same thing as the 4a, but it has 5G speeds, and it costs $500. But the Pixel 5 is quite a bit more interesting. It has a 90Hz screen and a more powerful processor, along with a better camera for $700. It signifies a change in what Google wants the Pixel to be. They were originally trying to compete in the flagship space, but now they've gone for a more mid-range smartphone, which I think is a pretty smart decision, because they were never really good at making flagships to begin with, and none of their flagships sold well. Well, their budget models sold very well. Their Pixel 4 sold less than 2 million units, while their Pixel 4a sold over 8 million. Clear that Google is really good at making mid-range phones rather than their flagships. Now we go back to AMD, who just released their new graphics card lineup. They announced their new 6000 series, which are beastly. They haven't released too many details in the event, and the synthetic benchmark scores aren't in yet, so we can't know every detail, but they're said by AMD to be on par with Nvidia's 3000 series for a lower or equal price. I personally think that that's pretty crazy because the 3000 series have already been a huge leap, and now AMD is starting to catch up in both CPUs and GPUs. Intel and Nvidia are having a pretty rough time right now. And that's all the major tech events that have happened over the past 2 months. That's been it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if I missed anything major in Techtober or Techtember. Peace.